Yo, what up? Happy GIJoe Classified Night Force Shockwave and Night Pursuit Review Day! Yay! That said, today, Moody here, Toy Kind of Mood, we're going to review the Night Force Shockwave Gridiron Studios Loadout. That's right, number 127 in the line, Shockwave, Jason Faria. It's got a Night Force makeover and it's super dope. So before we take a look at the Gridiron Studios upgrade to your brand new Walmart exclusive Night Force Shockwave, okay, it's the retro SWAT Rifleman loadout, sure. But allow me to run through the AAA. Aesthetics, accessories, and arms. Yeah. Articulation, you should already know by now. This is GIJoe Classified. Double pinless knees, butterflies, you get the deal. And we'll save the Night Pursuit Ram cycle for the end. Cherry on top. Let's get right to it. So instantly, this guy is great aesthetically. I love the OD green vest, the digi camo, like you're playing 8-bit Pac-Man in a very dull graveyard. It's zombie Pac-Man, guys, but it is sick. So one nice addition there, we have our Night Force Griffin. It's really dope with the globe and everything. We'll take a look at his face sculpt. A lot of nice texture. A lot of, man, he's pretty beat up. He's seeing some stuff out in these streets. From the bottom up, it's Retro Duke. You may have known that by now. I'm sure this isn't the first review you're watching. Shout out to Bobby B and Punk with Toys. Great reviews all the way around. My friends are always killing it. Retro Duke up in the boots. Got the double pinless as aforementioned, just adding the digi camo. So much nicer. Duke, this is my figure of the year so far for GIJoe Classified. So to add that lower half of the buck for Night Force Shockwave is a major improvement. As you can see, pockets are the same. Looks like the holster is the same there too. And then going to the leg, we have a little different holster there on the leg. And while we're at it, we might as well talk about his pistol. His pistol is the same. It's the same exact one as Retro Duke. No color change at all. Let's check out the quality. This one's fairly gummy, not great. Let's check this one out. Same quality, same one. So it doesn't even matter because I actually got it confused. But we'll talk about the pistol upgrades that we have later on. But it's a fine, decent, okay pistol. Little gummy, nothing crazy. I mean, are you really using pistols anyway with Classified? Probably not. And I almost forgot, it's crotch watching time. Same diaper, same belt as Retro Duke. All right, arms and gloves, same as Scrap Iron. Even got the cufflinks the same. No Cobra insignia, of course, double pinless. You got the armed padding on the elbow. So nice job there. Looks like ribbed neck underneath the torso. Yeah, we've got the same torso. See the collar? It's the same. And you can't see the dress shirt because we got Shockwave's vest on there. Better look at the gloves. They're identical. Okay, and so in case you forgot, the OG Shockwave to the right is Beachhead from the waist down to get the pin joints, the boot armor and everything. And he's Stalker, Grunt, you know, retro Snake Eyes, torso and arms. And he's got those gauntlets and everything. So yeah, almost like a all-new Shockwave. Taking a look at what we have again with Jason Faria is obviously the vest. It's 1-to-1. It's the same thing. You just gave it an OD green makeover. Same kind of collar. And it looks like we have a new neck as well, because we get a ribbed neck on Shockwave there, where here we just got like Scrap Iron's neck. And here's the back of the vest. And yes, that walkie is from the Rifleman SWAT loadout, but since it's blue, I'm going to give the blue pieces to the OG Shockwave. Of course, it only makes sense. Now, what's the same? It's also the knife holster on the leg is the same exact one. So that's returning. That's the only piece that's on the leg that's new. Of course, as you can see, boots are way different. Legs are way different. Now the face sculpt is a funny thing because it is the same, but it's not automatic. We've got new paint apps on this face compared to this one. This one's much cleaner, more cartoony, 80s, which is funny because it's classified. I mean, the other one's Night Force, so they're both classified in it, but it does definitely have like more of a retro sunbowish look. Looks to be the same balaclava, but this one's actually riding lower on the nose and this one's riding higher, but it looks to be the same thing. Take a look at the sides. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same to me. You could see his face. It's almost like the Cobra Island Firefly, just a lot more menacing. Back of the head, same thing. Looks like we've got the same mold. All right, and it wouldn't be Shockwave without his PC. He's got the patrol hat, of course. It looks similar, but there's it's definitely the same mold, but a far different GIJoe design pattern. This one kind of goes all the way around that like belt of the hat, if you will, dead center, where this one kind of floats onto the brim and whatnot. Kind of give you a whole, see, much different pattern. So that's cool that they didn't just repaint the patterns. They give you all new GIJoe patterns on there. All the GIJoe on the outfits, as you can see, is just far different from what I gather. He's got all the twin holsters for a micro Uzi, so it could kind of looks a little different, but he's got his knee pads, where here it doesn't have any knee pads. So more expressive GIJoe here. I really think it pops. There's none on the arms, but I think it gives him a nice clean look. Overall, the aesthetics on this are terrific. As far as the cap, I know Punk said something about it not fitting on too well, and it almost fits too flush if you pull the brim over the balaclava, but if you kind of do this, it doesn't sit on. Where this one is kind of perfect, you know, more military, top of the head. This one's kind of like the way I wear my hats. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably say the edge as far as fit goes to this one, but I don't have that much of a problem with it. I just throw the brim over the eyes. He's more business than his OG counterpart. All right, so I mentioned those micro Uzis. These are just lousy. This is what Shockwave had last time, these like little MP7s or whatever. But yeah, they finally did the deal and gave him an upgraded Mac 10 and Ingram Mac 10. And the funny thing is, I was searching all over for this weapon. I was like, oh man, is this brand new? You know, it's got the suppressor and everything, much more in line with the Shockwave we had as a kid. And then come to find out, Big Ben had it all along, and it was in his holster with the suppressor apart. I totally forgot that they had come out with this Uzi. This would have just been the gun to come out with Mutt. I'm just shocked that they didn't even go that route. They gave him a different rifle. But this Mac 10 Ingram style, it's kind of a combo, if you will, of a Mac 10 and an Uzi. It's a really nice fit. And there's a look at it without the suppressor, and the stick mag does not pull out. It's all molded in. So with that said, he's missing a holster. So he's got his knife holster. He's got his pistol holster, his other knife holster there, but there's nothing here. Missing a holster. It would have been nice to add. I know everything's coming down a budget and cost. We say that in every video, every review, every stream. It's on every post and every Facebook group and every tweet and every Instagram debate. But yeah, you're going to come with this. I want to make sure he can hold on to it without holding on to it. He does return with the same knives. He's got that dual purpose gut hook, that kind of that Zach shove on the right that goes on the boot holster. And then he's got his Bowie combat hunting kind of style knife that goes on his vest on the left. And it should be noted that this Shockwave does not come with his ballistic rash shield or the black aluminum baton. Thanks, Junkyard. All right, and there's more Big Ben's weapons. Here we got that Gilboa snake, that M4, M16 combination right over here. As you can see, this blast effect looks absolutely terrific with it. I'm glad it fits in there. Love the OD green with the black. Much nicer scheme. The Anniversary 60th Infantry, that Action Soldier, had really nice tan, you know, military style olive drab and everything. So that was really nice. But there's just flat gray with Big Ben. Of course, you had some coloring on the ammo feed. And over here we have that FN Minimi, the Belgian, the MK3 light machine gun, that rail gun kind of thing with the bipod. Both 60th anniversary and Big Ben. But yeah, here we got, OD green. They actually colored the feed pretty well. It's not just all one color, so you get the shells are a different color than the bullets and everything. You know what? These are two of the better guns in the classified line. Of course, it's not going to touch Gridiron. I mean, a comparison would be something like this. A nice one, pretty much on the same idea. So for a guy that's going to be in pursuit, does he really, in night pursuit, hot pursuit, does he really need a heavy gun like that? Does he have time to set it up? I mean, I do love how the effects look, especially with the clashing blocks, but to me, it doesn't make any sense. So that's why we're going to go over that Gridiron loadout. I just think it's a much better deal. But maybe the most shocking of all is we get that Mickey Mouse drone from the Cobra Island Firefly, bringing back some bad memories. But what I did like was they added an OD green, kept the silver paints there on the ratchet wrench thing and the little knives and tweezers and everything right there. So that's really good. No stick of dynamite though, so I'll give you a... Does this even come off? It's been forever. I hate to... Yeah, it's got to. You just pop that in and pop that out. That was actually really functional and great. But in case you wanted to give Shockwave some dynamite, I don't know why he'd be blowing up anything, right? He's a good guy. But yeah, in case you wanted to do it. And there's a porthole there on the side, and actually fits really good on the back, which is very important. We've had issues, but once you get it, here we go. See how easy that was? That never happens, man. But yeah, it fits good. It feels like it's pretty snug on there. So that's good. Energy, HT, FOC, Night Force. And lest we don't forget, we've got our steel core helmet, steel brigade, whatever you want to call it. So it's a little different than what we got with Clutch. He's got the Raphael turtle, still does have the same red visor. It seems to be the same paint. We've got a gray overhead there above the visor, and this antenna thing seems to be shifted over, but then it's kind of flimsy, kind of warpy, no big dealy. So different than the older steel core, maybe like Grunts, where the helmet was a replaceable head. You just plop that on. It's a little loose, kind of like Clutches. So if you do that, wow, actually didn't fall off. So that's great. But yeah, that looks cool. Whole new kind of character with the Mickey Mouse drone and everything. You could create this as your new character. Pretty sure Walmart was just like, give us a name character. I don't want a generic character, because this is probably what it was. But there is callbacks to V2, Shockwave, and all that for sure. I mean, it was Night Force with the 2-pack at one point, but yeah, it's a nice amalgamation of things. It is classified. It's not on a retro card or anything like that. So I like the liberties taken so far. But before we give whiskey scores and do some comparisons, let's get right into that Gridiron Night Force Retro SWAT loadout. Okay, so first things first is this cap, this PC. I gave it to my classified version of Hardball. Yeah, a lot different than the retro Hardball, but why not? Shout out to B's Battlegrounds. Bobby made a good point in his review about this SM4 or whatever, Gilboa, that, we've seen it a few times. It's a little warpy, of course, and he thought maybe an M16 would be great. And the funny part about that is no one liked this gun for Shockwave, the OG one. Didn't think it would fit, even though if you think about 80s SWAT military, a lot of them did carry, high volume automatic rifle like this. But for Night Force, it could work. It's a much quicker access gun than this giant MK3 that we got with Big Ben. So I dig it. And as an alternative to the Gilboa, just to give something new, of course, we got one with Mutt. So it almost makes sense to give him this M16 instead. Okay, so while this is neck and neck, while I do like the insertion of this MAC-10 Uzi combo. This Uzi and suppressor, this like Mac Uzi combo from Gridiron is much nicer. So it's got the ridged silencer suppressor there. It doesn't, I don't think this one has a stick mag either. That's the funny thing, it actually doesn't come out. But it does have a shoulder holster, which is nice. And you get this detail of the folded stock. So it's completely folded. You can't remove it or anything like that. But that's nice. That gives it definitely a nice edge there. Almost adds like a greaser gun mentality to it. So while this is pretty good for Hasbro, it's a slight improvement here in the Gridiron kit. Now the SWAT kit does come with these really nice handguns, these pistols, and they're definitely an improvement over the one we got with Duke. There's just a lot more detail. They feel more solid. The barrel looks stronger, everything. The only problem is we got that one holster that I mentioned earlier. So one of them could replace it, but they are twin pistols, so might not work. Okay, but the bread and butter of this entire set is that he gets to match his Night Force counterparts with a awesome gas mask. You know, you've seen these, and Rainbow Six. So crazy enough, that actually feels really good and looks really awesome, even with the hat. Adds a new dimension. It looks really good. Maybe the hat being big punk is to allow for this mask, right? Maybe Lenny was messing around. I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me the least, but that looks absolutely incredible. If you can just get this mask alone, I don't know if it's available alone, I'd say it's worth the Retro SWAT upgrade. But as far as the weapons, it depends on how picky you are. With the Uzi, if you need another M16, if you want better pistols. But unfortunately, the blue cap and the walkie that we showed you earlier in blue just don't match the scheme of this one. So we definitely need maybe an official Night Force loadout from Gridiron, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like with the current Shockwave outfit, and I'll soup him up right now. Wow, I actually think this looks super incredible on him. It's all about the gas mask. I definitely think the weapon grades help a little bit, giving him this M16 and that really nice looking MAC-10 Uzi combo instead of the weapons that we got, instead of the Big Ben reuse, which are two of the finest weapons in the classified line. But man, having the drone, everything looks really good. I mean, the mask looks so dope. This makes him one of the best figures of the year, just adding this loadout. Now, if you wanted to upgrade both Shockwaves at the same time, sans blue cap, I don't really think that blue cap is necessary, but if you want to give one of them the Uzi, one of them the M16, add those two new pistols, give the walkie to one of the Shockwaves, definitely the blue one, and then add that gas mask, it could be worth it. Or we could just beg Mark to make a straight up Night Force loadout, a more official one. This is by far my favorite sub squad in GIJoe. We're not talking Dreadnoks or anything like that, just sub teams. They look absolutely phenomenal, especially with the Gridiron upgrades to the weapons and some of the kits. Oh man, do yourself a favor, go to gridironprops.com, get you a ton of rat upgrade set, get you this retro SWAT Rifleman set. Every weapon you see here is a Gridiron upgraded weapon. If you love classing up your classifieds like I do, this is the squad. Before we do whiskeys for all of it, we've got to look at that piece of metal parked back there behind them. Let's compare the Night Pursuit, shall we? All right, comparing a Night Pursuit Ram with the rest, of course, we're looking at the side gunner Gatling, uses the same black mold. Now, here's the thing. This is a little messed up and warpy. This isn't the best, but it's definitely stiffer. Tiger Force, yeah, this is actually the stiffest of all, which is just bizarre since this one came out. But yeah, this one is definitely using a much cheaper plastic all the way around. As you can see, I can squeeze that. I can't really squeeze that. And I can't really squeeze that at all. But they did add Covert Special Task Force. Everything else looks the same. It's got a gray wheel. on the bottom instead of brown and black. Looking at the top sides, it's lacking decals. It's got nothing on the top, kind of like Tiger Force there. You can see, looking here on the pegs, same thing, solid color. This one had red. Quick comparison between all the Rams. And we've got, both say MG 1027 on there. Got the Night Force logo, got GIJoe on the front, got some other decals there. As far as rims, I like the brown. I like all the, they definitely added some more paint apps. Like here's clear, or here's black actually. So they added this nice gold, really stands out. Got brown handlebars where you had black before and you only had red on Tiger Force. There weren't a whole lot of paint apps. It's just pretty much all yellow. And they just added that one crazy decal. Take a look at the 3 steering columns there. It's pretty nice. They added another yellow bar. Everything else pretty much looks the same. Of course, this pops. This is just black. Well, that was green. This was nice. Added some nice blue. Really popped there. This one actually has a lot of nice silver here. Underrated. This also does. While this doesn't have much. So, in some areas, it gains. United States logo. That's really dope there. But yeah, it's a nice vehicle. Hopefully it's the last Ram we get. I don't want a lot of Rams. I want some original GIJoe vehicles. What say you? Do you really want more repaints of the Rams? Or are you good with Night Pursuit? And we're calling it a day, aren't we? And I couldn't leave you without getting at least one decent shot of Night Force, Jason Faria Shockwave, in his Night Pursuit Ram. That actually looks damn dope. Do I need 2 of these? And it ended up like $38 instead of $55 or something, or $34 or whatever the freaking sale was. For $34, and I don't have to wait for a sale, Ross, clearance, Ollie's, anything. I'm gonna go, a solid 4.25 for the Night Pursuit. And the figure with the upgrades and everything, the nice digicam. If only he included the gas mask, I'd go 4.5. I'm going to go 4.25. I'm going to go 4.25 out of 5. I think it's a very strong, that's an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a very strong, really, really sound release. You want to include the sale price, I'm going 4.5. Like if it's marked at 38, I don't know if it's sold out at 38. You can let me know in the comments. I haven't looked, but this is a great repaint, great example of reuse. But in the meantime, guys, if you dug the video and you want to see more content from a toy kind of mood, leave some comments. Like, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We go live tonight. Tonight, we got our Comic-Con preview. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. We want to know what you want from Comic-Con. Lots of Rattler HasLab talk. Lots of Joe talk. We're going to talk about the fan stream, the panel, lots of classified stuff, in addition to a lot of other brands, including Hasbro, Marvel Legends, and Star Wars. But for now, guys, it's Trav Moody. I'll catch you in the toy aisle. Peace. So what do you think? My place at 8? They don't call this the Night Pursuit for nothing.